This is fucking Crimbus right now, sir. That's Dio helping us.
But it sounds like Dio.
It does sound a lot like Dio, doesn't it?
I don't usually think of Ronnie James Dio first thing out of the box when we're talking about Christmas.
It sounds like a Sabbathy man on guitar.
A little bit. It was like, what was Dio and Tony Iommi doing stuff? Like, you're leaving Geezer Butler out of the mix.
He slept in that day.
Maybe missed the bus. It's the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. We do this weekly as best we can. And, actually, you know what? We haven't missed a week yet, yeah?
We've either put one up on a Thursday or a Saturday, but we haven't missed a week since last year, since we started.
Yeah. Well,
we're doing pretty good.
And then there was that time you were in Vegas, but I just kind of did it on my lonesome, so it was kind of abbreviated. But that was it still counts.
That's right, damn it. We had content.
Oof. It is the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. We come together once a week, talk about the issues that are important to us, which is, lo and behold, the issues of Mead, Metal, and MMA. Who would have thought? Right.
I mean, if this is your first one, you don't get it by now. Look at all the videos below this one. It's Mead, Metal, and MMA, folks.
And they only get better by the week,
That's
what
true.
I understand. From what I understand.
From what I've heard, from what I've seen.
From those trying to stroke my ego, that is what I understand.
That's right.
So how's your week?
Oh, man. Well, the funny thing is, because we recorded the Thursday podcast last week.
Right.
And then about 12 hours later, I basically nearly broke my leg. Both of them, really.
So who do you owe money to?
I just don't know how to walk right.
I thought it was more of a...
no. I pay...
Of these guys.
I'm a Lannister when it comes to my debts. Always pay. No, just fucking hole in the ground. Step in it. Fucking sprain left ankle, ram right knee into the ground at an alarming rate.
How fucking deep is the hole?
It was pretty good. It was dug by a Doug.
Did you feel like hands from below trying to grab a hold of your foot?
It could have been hell trying to finally come to collect, but I got away. They brought me great pain though. I've sprained my ankle fucking probably over a dozen times, and they've all been pretty bad. But I know I've done a really good job when there are bruises going up my toes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, your toes all look kind of fucked up. Like there was a weird fucking, which piggy went to market. None of them did. None of them made it to market.
I spent a week in Serbia and didn't bring any socks. Yeah, so other than getting around like a gimpy man, well, work was okay, I guess. I mean, work is never really okay, but it's also not really worth talking about all the time unless something really stupid happens.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing. That's why you're there.
Yeah.
If something crazy is going to happen, it's going to happen on your job.
Oh, fuck yeah. And it's going to happen between the hours of 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. It always does.
Yeah.
Always does. What about you, my friend?
Been kind of a weird one. We talked about it last time around. My mother passed away, so
right.
I'm kind of in my weird first holiday season of not having a parent anywhere,
Yeah.
So that's okay. And I thought, well, I'll just do what I usually do and just get heavily liquefied over the whole occasion.
That's usually what I would recommend, yeah.
Drink lots of liquor from
one would say
Indiana.
Copious amounts.
I think that's probably safe to say. Probably some beers, throw in some whiskey drinks.
A couple of liquor ball sandwiches.
That's where it's at. So it's been okay. I don't know. And here's the weird thing, because I started decorating. My mother passed, so I stopped altogether.
Right.
Well, then I kind of felt, wait a minute, what the hell am I doing? At least see it through. So Tuesday, I went ahead and got the rest of the shit up. House looks like it's ready for Christmas. Looks like it's ready for a wine and cheese social tomorrow.
Yeah,
so,
man. Seeing your house all festive and ready to go finally kicked me in the ass to go get a trip at my place.
Oh, good. Well, I'm blind leading the blind. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
Oh, by the way, before we get into our three favorite topics.
The fun stuff?
That's right. Want to throw out a thank you to a Joshua LaCour, our latest subscriber to the scene. Many thank you, sir. We hope you enjoy, because he heard our post-fight, which one person didn't really enjoy.
Well, and you let us check it out on YouTube. There are people that are going to talk shit. There's people that,
and it was fine. I mean, I get it. People don't know that Kerry is probably about the most casual MMA fan I've ever met in my life.
She likes the violence, just not the fighters.
Yeah, but she doesn't want people to get their ass too beat, or else she'll never watch it again.
That's right. That's the threat. That's
so,
the looming threat. Yeah.
I get it. But those are also our most highly watched episodes. And this guy watched that episode and liked what we had, subscribed to our stuff, and hey, shout out, many thanks. Hope you enjoy tonight's.
I'm actually a little bit shocked to have this guy that I know by the name of Ramon that works at a local peanut company here in town was like actually posed a question. He's like, hey, bro, if you're going to do like a mailbag, I'm like, but we're not. That was like the first one in a year.
That's right. And then we had to really let that bag get a little weight to her before we busted her open.
But we've now got, I don't know if it becomes like a week, but I don't want to call it mailbag. That's shit.
Well, you folks know if you guys want us, fucking answer anything, just let us know.
Comments, questions, I don't give a shit. But we'll have to call it. I don't want to call it the mailbag. That sounds like something old timey.
Call it the Mead Metal MMA mailbag. There's a lot of M's in there.
Yeah, a lot of N's in like an inbox or something. I don't know. But anyway, that's it's been an interesting little week. Got a big event coming up here at the Meadery tomorrow that we host every 5 years now running, and so that's going to be pretty.
I'll be here
badass.
nude.
So anyway, it's going to be the first year I don't show up for my own event.
Oh,
and,
so I'm a host now. Awesome. It's going to be nothing but PBR and tap water for my guests.
That sounds fantastic. All right.
And Velveeta singles.
That's right. You gotta offer up that those slices of faux cheese.
I bet you Ruben would still show up.
Oh, was that dude coming up tonight?
I don't know. I haven't heard from him. He's kind of elusive lately.
Like a ninja.
Working on his tunes.
Like a ninja. Yeah. So it's the Mead Metal MMA podcast where we talk about our three favorite things: Mead, metal, and MMA. And here's the whole thing. A lot of you think, you guys usually shortchange yourselves on the Mead side. Not this week, friends.
No, we were busy. We had a pretty bitty windy.
A bitty windy.
Sorry, I thought I was stroking out due to the bullet rye.
Which, by the way, we are back in stock again. And if you're looking to get your favorite MMA and podcast hosts their favorite thing, I would recommend Bullet Rye or Redemption Rye if you want to go ahead and be really, really cool.
Yeah, that link you sent me, it sounded really fucking good.
Forever appreciate you. This week's podcast is brought to you by Bobby Wheeler Photography. If you happen to have a thing that you want to see, that you have in your mind's eye.
If you can see it, he can take a picture of it.
That's right. That's right. Or at least give an artist rendition of it. So, big thanks to our friend Bobby, because he came over last week and he's going to be over again this week. So,
indeed.
And it's not an easy trip. It's a harrowing travel.
That's right. It's like the goddamn Sahara between here and Lubbock.
That's right. It's like fucking. It's like putting away a bucket of chicken. Not that I know, but
who's ever done that at this table?
So Mead, the stepchild, they say, of the podcast, which is not this week.
No, that's why it leads.
I would say this is that the Longships batch, I had some concerns, which I always do, because I operate by the nose, and the nose said there's sulfites that might be forming here. The last time we'd racked it weeks ago, so I wasn't pleased with that. So we went ahead, racked it, put it over to another container again, another fermenter. Well, lo and behold, we go ahead and crack it open, and it's clear as day. Smells just right.
Very dark.
And it's
very dark.
It looks like bourbon.
It looks like a tea you made and left out for like 3 days. It's really dark.
It's pretty.
Very, very pretty.
It's pretty and it smells right. That one's going to be coming up right after the first of the year. Probably when we bottle, I mean, I'm really happy with that one. I really wanted to pull a sample tonight. I thought, you know what? But it's still doing its thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to. And by the way, it's a bad move to keep opening a container that's in fermentation anyway. Even secondary, because 90% of your fermentation takes place in primary. But I don't want to jeopardize that 15% because that's where a lot of positive things happen.
Yeah. Well, we racked Troublemaker. It's first racking, and it's still doing work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still just going right at it. That Grand Cuvée, man.
Yeah.
The Premier Cuvée, I mean.
Premier Cuvée is the but it's that one is that's another one. That's the other one I was going to bring up. We racked it over to a carboy. It's going to be able to go ahead and kind of get its thing going, which its thing at this point is just sitting for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, all the flavor is there. It's just time and clarification.
Yeah, I'm thinking about probably a month. We might move it to another carboy, maybe, and give it about a week's rest and then bottle. I don't know. But, I mean, it really depends. It really depends on what the Mead's wanting to do. And
Sure.
we're not in a hurry
Oh, no way.
to sell. I mean, we still got stock, which, by the way, allows me to go ahead and throw out the plug that if you want to support our band, go ahead and get with us on how we might be able to take a monetary donation from you, and then we'll maybe some mead in return. So.
Yeah. And we still got Green Man, still the Holly King, still around, and I think we might have one bottle left of Runestone.
If that's the case,
I know we have 3, but I know 2
I think
were
there
spoken
were 2
for.
that were spoken for.
Yeah.
So
I think we have one.
I think we can
loose one
call
left.
Runestone gone. But Holly King would be another interesting one. It's because one of our big supporters, our second biggest supporter, right behind Brandon.
That's right. God damn it.
It's my brother Daryl. So he's got 2 bottles of the Holly King. We only had 1 case. That's only 12 bottles.
Right.
We utilized one to know where it was at.
I bought one.
You bought one, so and then Daryl bought 2. So we've got 4. That means we're down to 8 bottles left out of that case. And I'm getting ready to buy one right here in a little bit for tomorrow night's festivities.
And I'll probably grab another one for birthday weekend.
So we're looking at probably you've got 6 bottles left. If you want your name on it, you better say something.
And Guy, it is so fucking good. I mean, a year's done so much for it.
Oh yeah,
so very much. We got something for everybody, really. And I mean, I think we're gonna, after Troublemaker and Longships are done, probably maybe rock a vanilla batch once the weather turns.
Maybe. Well, because we always have to think like 4 or 5 months ahead.
Right.
So I don't know. I would actually be. Yeah, I'd be fine with doing just a straight batch
straight
one
run.
again.
Yeah.
A straight batch of mead. Because, man, if people are buying mead online, what they get is a weird, heavily medicated kind of a thing, which it does no justice to what mead is supposed to be.
Right.
That's the only thing that ever aggravates
justice
shit
in the way that our vision of it, which is
the original mead that was created over 1,000 years ago. That kind of God, you could make the argument 2,000, but the reality of what we know of Dark Ages Europe, mead was simply honey and water and yeast.
Yeah.
That's all it was. And that's all that ours is. Now, if you want it to be something else, if you want us to add a whole bunch of shit and make it taste like anything but mead, we're happy to do it because we can jump on the bandwagon of the rest of everybody else that's out there. I'm not really going to hammer Grim Frost, but because it's not as bad as some of the other ones.
No, out of all the mass-produced meads I've tried, the Grimfrost mead had a decent balance. I mean, it was still really sweet, and that also has a lot to do with primarily I've just been drinking our mead for the past 2 years.
Well, because we don't end up adding honey to the back end of the process because that's what everybody expects. Hey, I'm drinking a honey liquor, really. I mean, if we want to call it what it is. How come it doesn't taste like honey? Well, that's because what we do is that honey is converted. That sugar is converted to alcohol by the yeast that we utilize, and therefore it comes off as an alcoholic beverage.
Right.
We don't add anything else to the end of it in order to allow you to beat you over the head with it. Hey, there's honey in here. We don't.
Yeah, we just can't do that. I mean, that's after we got started. I mean, I thought that was okay. Like the Vikings blood, I was like, that's great. That is some great shit. But now after having our stuff for 2 years, it's like it's too sweet.
Yeah.
It's too damn sweet.
They add a lot of extra honey to it. They add a lot of weird God, I really think the hyacinth thing that they add to the Vikings blood.
Oh, no, it's is it hyssin or like hibiscus? I think
It's hibiscus. But still, I mean, that's a weird floral that doesn't belong.
And I thought it was okay.
I didn't care for it, but I don't know. And I also didn't care for the look of it when you poured it in a glass. I didn't care for it.
Yeah, very thick. Very thick.
So, I don't know. We're staying true to what the tradition should be.
Yeah, and everything I've heard from people that steadily buy our stuff or enjoy it, they're behind it.
What can you do?
That's right. I'm just trying to please the world here.
So, if you want to get with us, we're not selling. We're not selling any mead because that's illegal and wrong.
No, we're one of the greatest mead giveaway groups out there.
But if you want to help out our musical interests, then
That certainly wouldn't hurt either.
Might be a bottle of mead involved. So
We welcome all. We welcome all.
It's the only reason we're doing what we're doing. We're trying to get gear to put out more tunes for the kids.
That's right. Gotta look out for them children.
So let's move on to metal. I got nothing this week because I got really disheartened when I started looking at the new releases. I found nothing.
Yeah, it caused me to just really dig deep into the YouTube underbelly. And like I commented to you earlier, I found what was initially described as Hawaiian Doom Metal from Italy. That's quite the pairing of words.
Hawaiian Doom Metal. I almost expected, was this some Max Holloway put together? Because
it might be good training music for him, which really, I mean, it's just doom metal with a lap steel guitar.
A what?
Steel guitar. The country variety, the luau variety. It's really weird, and I'll play for you after we wrap up here. See if you can get some flavor on it.
We don't want to expose it to the people that actually like our shit. So,
hey, I'll say I dig it. I like it. But just it being Hawaii, it's doom metal with steel guitar from Italy. It's not bad.
All right.
I know you weren't familiar with band Nevermore, but I saw them when I went to Gigantor in Albuquerque when it was Megadeth and Dream Theater.
Yeah.
Frontman Worrell Dane dies overnight of a heart attack. 56. Big bummer. Big bummer.
Heart attack at 56?
Yeah.
Is he a fan of cocaine?
Probably.
Well, probably maybe exercises too much like Bruce Lee. I mean, it's one or the other.
Yeah, but the Nevermore, their guitarist, Jeff Loomis, he's not in the band anymore, but a really great fucking guitar player, Jeff Loomis.
Yeah.
It's really sad because dude has a very unique voice. And Nevermore between like 2000 and 2006 were pretty damn good. And then he struck out on solo stuff and was right in the middle of recording his first solo album in 10 years when he died.
Holy crap.
So a bit of a bummer there. Funny thing is the URL said Worrell Dane dead at 48. And down here it says dead at 56. I don't even know what to fucking believe anymore. Fake news, man. Fake news. Fake news. Tool has finally said 2018 we're getting that album.
All right.
I still don't believe it.
Well, yeah.
I think we'll see Connor fight in the Octagon before we'll get a new Tool album.
Oh, probably. Oh.
Which means we're not going to get either.
Oh, wow. Yeah, which do you get first? That's
I wonder what the betting pool over under would be on that.
crap. Because I don't know that we'll ever see Connor in the UFC again. But.
Yeah, it's looking less and less likely, and it really my ability to really want it or care about it is waning day by day.
Ah, shit, we're jumping into the MMA portion before
right.
we're done with the metal side.
Metallica is Hardwired to Self-Destruct, best-selling hard rock album of the year.
Yeah.
That year between December 3rd, 2016, and November 25th of this year.
Not surprised.
Beating out bands such as Imagine Dragon, Suicide Squad soundtrack, Panic at the Disco, Linkin Park, and the Rolling fucking Stones.
You know, most of those you mentioned, I'm actually really glad that Metallica beat them out, really.
Yeah. And then you got Tom Petty, Heartbreaker's Greatest Hits, but I'm sure is just on there because he died.
Yeah. Yeah, no, well. Yeah,
unless it was I mean, either that, I don't know if it was a new release is what I mean.
Well, Linkin Park has a new release today, but I don't know.
I think it's like a live album, isn't it?
I think it
One
is.
More Light live.
But it's the last one that you're going to have Chester on it. So,
yeah, and you know, I was thinking about that the other day. Do you think because they caught a lot of shit for that album, man, saying like they had just totally abandoned what made them great, went total pop.
Kind of makes me want to listen to it now. But
well, I mean, it is.
Is it total pop?
It is.
Oh.
We've heard a song here, and we were not impressed.
Yeah.
And, you know, guy dealing with depression as bad as he was, I mean, shit, do you think that might have had a hand in what happened?
I don't know, man. I mean, Shinoda was always the guy that would lay down the, your more like rap kind of vocals and stuff like that. But he hadn't actually been all that overly active on a lot of shit, though.
Right.
I mean, his presence is there, obviously, but... Man, I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm sure it didn't help.
No.
Hearing, people that were fans for probably their whole duration come out and say this album is shit. You're shit. You betrayed us.
But people said that on Thousand Suns.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
I mean, every album that Linkin Park put out probably in the last decade, everybody loses their shit every time it comes out. Like, this is not as good as the last one.
Because it's not crawling or...
And the next thing you know, then they're listening to that one, you know. And I mean, the only thing I could relate similar is, with my experience, is Rush.
Yeah.
Back when I was a kid, an early teen, I mean, I cut my teeth on moving pictures and subdivisions. I mean, that was kind of where my knowledge was at. And then Fly By Night and everything came before, you know.
Yeah.
Farewell Kings, everything came before. Well, then I recall I was working at a car wash. I think I was probably like 15 or something.
At the car wash.
DC cab. But anyway, but no. So I'm working at a car wash, and I recall the day that Hold Your Fire came out.
Yeah.
My problem was, okay, so a brother of mine about every album that meant anything to me in my life, he was the one that bought it. But bought me Grace Under Pressure. It took me a while to really get around to liking that one, comparatively.
Yeah.
Compared to everything that Rush had done to that point, I thought, man, this is just really littered with a lot of synthesizers they don't need. You know, okay?
Yeah.
There's still some people out there that say that to this day, and that's fine, because I really don't like to live on the grid either. But
sure. Now I gotta stay off that grid, man.
But
I want people to know what we like.
So then, when Hold Your Fire came out, I found that one to be terrible, and I hated it for a very long time. And the truth of the matter is, I still don't really like it. I had to go ahead and jump beyond, you know, into the next phase, which I think might have been Counterpart or something like that. I don't know. I went in the core at that point, and I really gave up music for fucking 6 years. But there are things that I did appreciate that Rush did start to do. I mean, I appreciated Roll the Bones. I appreciate a lot of the things that they did. I understand it's prog rock. That's not necessarily what we cover on this show. But I got to the point where I could appreciate it, and I went back and listened to Hold Your Fire again, and I still don't like it. So, I mean, 2 tracks. There are 2 tracks on that whole record that I like. But it does
skip Power Windows?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that one was kind of another one that was back. That was before Grace Under Pressure. But,
Power Windows came out after Grace Under Pressure. 85.
Was that one 86?
85.
85.
Grace Under Pressure was 84.
Well, I mean, those are during my high school years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that there was a problem with heavy synth was present on Power Windows as well. However, I will say the first album from Rush that I bought on iTunes, Power Windows.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
right on.
So you can go fuck yourself. I know where you're trying to go, but
I got into Rush really late. I got into Rush right in like Vapor Trails, 2002.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, I was always familiar with Rush. I knew Tom Sawyer. I mean, I knew the hits.
Right.
But I didn't know like about YYZ or anything about 2112 or the like.
Yeah.
Heard Vapor Trails and I was like, wow, this is, I mean, like Rush sounded really modern, but still like Rush. And Clockwork Angels, the most recent one, came out like 5 years ago, I think.
Which is going to be their last studio album, unless Neil Peart figures some things out. But yeah,
well, I mean,
he's physically and capable of doing.
Yeah,
stuff,
they said they're not ever. The touring's done.
Well, that's true. They did leave the door open on studio. They're never going to tour again, but
yeah, studio work could be a little more lenient because you can take a lot of breaks.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? I mean, if they close it out with Clockwork Angels, that's okay.
Yeah. No, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. No, absolutely. So, I don't even know how we got on the topic of like getting in depth with Rush, but I'm all right with that. It's never wrong. It's never wrong to get involved with Rush.
Oh, indeed.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know, man. I think it came off of some other things we were talking about, probably having to do with Metallica or whatever, and how ideas are kind of formulated and where they are.
Yeah.
I would say this is that. Really, you gotta view music in a very peculiar way. You can really, really hate the messenger on whatever it is that's out there, but that's only for a record.
Right.
Let it, trail down. Same thing with, I would say, with Linkin Park. That's the original argument.
Yeah, that was what spawned.
No, but nobody liked Thousand Suns that I knew of. But by God,
my buddy Jeremy fucking loved it.
You turn around about a year later, and gee, that's it was right there with Hybrid Theory. And and a lot of it now, after Chester has died, it gets rolled into the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Now all those sappy-ass songs have a lot more meaning.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, just like that song. Is it the title track off their new album, One More Light? That's just basically...
I think, I think
that
so.
now is like the anthem
right.
for his passing.
That's right. And, you know, so that album's out today. So,
well, to all the haters that hated One More Light, well, guess what? That's the last one you're going to get. Yeah. So enjoy.
You might want to go ahead and embrace it now, because you'll probably regret it later. Yeah. Much as, you know, with the exception of Hold Your Fire, much as I did with a lot of Rush tracks.
Yeah.
I think that was the moral of the story I was trying to get to.
Right, yeah. So. Don't let your preconceptions jip you out of a really good musical experience.
Yeah. So I thought you were going to get drunk and belligerent, Kevin, tonight. No, you're getting...
introspective and, like, thoughtful.
Oh, that's fucked up. Let me drink some more whiskey.
I was going to say, if you want to load me up for a doozer, because talks about Dave Mustaine. Anytime I talk about a ginger, I need another drink. Dave Mustaine has appeared on a jam with a guy by the name of Brett Kissel. Countryman, Canadian country singer-songwriter.
What?
Yeah, wrote a song
Dave Mustaine's doing country music now?
He is on a country jam called Damn.
Is it because that shithead from Stained is...
Well, I think from what I'm reading here on Metal Injection, Mustaine just lends some guitar to it.
Okay.
He doesn't sing on it, which that's what I was really hoping for. He's going to sing on it.
I want to hear that.
I want to hear Mustaine with a little twang, sir. Oh, man, that'd be great. Which we'll have to put that on the fucking dog as well. I got to hear it, even if just to hear like a kick-ass Mustaine fucking solo on a country jam.
I couldn't imagine.
Damn.
I couldn't imagine Mustaine singing about whacking his old lady and driving a Winnebago. That'd be
a hell of a tale, though.
That'd be deep.
I'd buy that album. We've talked about this quite a bit on the podcast. Decapitated.
Oh yeah, the Polish band.
Yeah,
that getting like too friendly with their groupies.
Yeah, all 4 accused of rape released from jail. Trial set January. They bailed out. No bond, but bailed out.
Like I've said, man, I don't know. I mean, I trust the folks at Metal Injection with their reporting. I think that Adam is actually one of the best reporters in the music scene that I've found.
Yeah.
And he was the one that immediately said, "Wait a minute, there's no way these guys did this." So
yeah, there's a lot of questions here still. With the current climate, man, they're already at a severe disadvantage. They're not American. Right. They're a metal band. They look gnarly, and they're accused of rape. They got a lot of negatives in their column already.
Man, I don't know if it changes the entirety of what a band does. Because look, man, if you're a big band and you've got a bus and you play a gig, you've got fans.
Yeah. And
those fans are wanting to hang around and hang out with the band and do things with the band.
Yeah, the age of the groupie.
I'm not condoning necessarily what some things have happened over the history of rock and roll.
Yeah, but it is part of its history.
But it is part of history.
And more women acknowledge it as a great time than they do as like a scarring moment in their lives. But now, I don't know, dude. I mean, there's still, like I said, so many fucking questions about it. But it bums me out that they're already guilty in the eyes of everyone.
I don't know.
In the eyes of everyone in Spokane, Washington, they are.
Well, I don't know. I'd be interested to know what the average person on the street in Spokane thinks. I think the average person
probably be like,
who
the fuck's decapitated?
Yeah, exactly. Because the lady that is the one that had claimed that she was assaulted, which is always wrong, but she apparently has made similar claims before and is known for hanging out at concerts at this same venue and with similar bands.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is.
Well, here's another weird fold to the tale. Guitar player from Thy Art Is Murder, moderately familiar with him.
Right.
Andy Marsh wrote to the court and basically said, "Hey, all these bruises this victim is talking about, were sustained in a mosh pit.
Yeah.
He says she was smashing her hands, arms, and body against a metal barricade between the audience and the stage.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that'll do it.
Yeah.
I mean, look at my fucking foot. I sprained my ankle and my toes are bruised, for fuck's sake.
I like the way we take sexual assault straight back to you.
That's right. It's all about, at the end of the day, it's all about me.
But I mean, but the thing is, and that's absolutely right, because they were the other band that Decapitated opened for, right? You know,
yeah, the Art is Murder.
But I mean, that's the whole thing. That was the other accusation, is that they wanted to go to the lesser known tour bus of people that are from Europe that have no.
Yeah, the weird guys.
Well, and they don't have an understanding of kind of what shit that they're up against.
Right.
On just an accuser. I think. I don't know. It's an uncomfortable topic.
Yeah. And it really, I mean, it seems to be centralized here in the United States.
Yeah.
You don't hear about accusations happening in any other country. It's just here.
No, I mean, so I don't know how that whole case is going to go down. I think it's going to be interesting. I think the accuser's history is probably, from what I understand from reading the news that I've read, it is her history that is going to really make this a non-case.
Yeah. Well, I hope justice is served one way or the other.
Right.
But I just hope
the entire
they get a fair
band
shake.
going down.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
I mean, I guess we'll find out in January. Let's see. Born today. Not a lot of cool people except one Billy motherfucking Gibbons of ZZ Top.
That's always big.
In 1950. Wow.
Dude's
an
old
creeping
fella.
up on 70.
He's an old fella.
I didn't realize Billy Gibbons opened for Hendrix on his first U.S. tour. Moving Sidewalks. The band Moving Sidewalks. Who would have thought we would have actually had Moving Sidewalks in Vegas? Now, at this very time. Billy Gibbons. Fucking sage. Sage and future seer.
I only know the one that's related to Hank Hill because of the King of the Hill episode.
Well, that's Billy, isn't it? Isn't it Billy that's related to him?
No, it's the bass player, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the one. Oh, no, the drummer had the last name Beard, and he was the only one that didn't have a beard.
Yeah, no, the other, the Hill fella.
Joey Gibbons.
The Hill fella. God damn it, you're going to make me open my
Dusty
thing.
Hill?
It is Dusty Hill. Yes, yeah. God, go fuck yourself.
Yes! Well, I guess this is a greater time than any to transition to our third chapter of the tale.
The third chapter, according to some of the criticism of this show, the turd chapter.
Oh, man. Fuck your criticism. And fuck you.
Oh, by the way, so a friend of mine, Ramon, from Peanut Company here in town, said you guys always talk about your favorite fighter, and he's telling me this. He's like, so obviously you guys are like Conor McGregor fans, which I had to say, whoa, hold on.
Yeah,
hold on.
First of all, I was like, every time I mention Conor McGregor, all the life just drains out of your body. He's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yep.
You're a huge supporter.
So anyway, so there we go. So you heard it straight from the horse's mouth, the Conor McGregor fan.
Yeah, I'm pretty soon in January I'll sound the same way.
I would say, though, is that you had predicated your experience of rooting for Conor McGregor on a fight being announced before the end of the year.
Correct.
I will point out there are 16 days remaining in 2017.
There are indeed. And each one my hope and dreams grow.
So
I still say he's fighting on the 30th. It's going to be a surprise. Huge surprise.
Surprise fight. Yeah, because that's how you make the money.
That's right. He's going to, after the Cyborg Holm fight, he's just going to jump out, already weigh $145, and just going to fight the winner of Cyborg and Holm.
I think they're going to have a rugby match and have him be the fullback, but then immediately right at the end of that, then he'll jump straight into an octagon and fight somebody.
Like a really odd triathlon.
And then straight from that into like a Shark Tank and like fucking fight sharks.
Oh, man. Hop on a motorcycle and jump over Shark Tank. Olafons. Be a good finish.
But anyway, Ramon wanted to know, so who is your least favorite fighter? Who do you? I think he actually said, who do you hate the most? I don't know. Hate's kind of a strong word nowadays, but
yeah.
Who is one fighter that you don't like more than anybody else in the entire fight business?
For me, and it's not because I actively followed this guy at all. I only heard about him through his K1 fights.
Well, you'd have to figure it out. As a guy that's got to be based on, obviously his work as a fighter, his, I guess, his persona as a human, I guess. I mean, a lot of things that go into things that make you really not like one person over somebody else.
No, absolutely. Mine is Bob Sapp.
I would go with Bob Saget as well.
Bob Saget. No, I actually like Bob Saget.
So Bob Sapp, he's kind of an older guy, yeah?
Yeah. He's never fought in UFC.
Okay.
He got started in K1. That was kind of his big thing. And at the peak of his career, I mean, this guy's won a Grand Prix final in K1 back in 2005. He's 10-4 at the time. And this guy has fought like Akebono, Chemo Leopoldo, which that might not be a name a whole lot of people that listen to our show know. This is a guy that fought Royce Gracie at UFC 3 after Royce had won the previous 2 in a row.
Yeah.
And he still lost the fight. Gracie tapped him out, but he beat his ass so bad that Gracie couldn't continue the tournament.
Right.
And
the winner at the UFC 3 you did.
And that was really his big claim to fame, which he actually beat Chemo by knockout. But after winning that Grand Prix final, this guy goes on to rattle off 10 losses in a row between 2005 and 2011.
Wow.
Basically, here's what Bob Sapp does. He will go out there. He will accept any fight with any heavyweight. I mean, this guy's not cutting to 205. He probably walks around at 300 pounds solid. Wow. He's a big guy. He was the big emotional black guy in the Longest Yard remake.
Okay.
But he will just come out and be like, I will take any fight, but I'm not going out there to get hurt. I'm not going out there to wear any type of head injury of any sort. This guy will wear one punch, and he is down in a fetal position, covering up that head, just waiting for the referee to stop the fight.
Doesn't want to talk silly later in life.
No, well, yeah, but he's also still wanting to climb in, and he just wants the money. He don't want to fight. He just wants to get his ass beat for cash. And the majority of these fights, all but 3, ended by finish. Usually ref stoppage or corner stoppage. The only fights he's won since 2005 are against some dude named Tofan Pirani, and it's because Pirani hurt his fucking leg while kicking Bob Sapp. It's the only reason Bob Sapp won the fight.
Well, there you go.
And he beat Akebono via technical decision in a shoot boxing match.
Okay.
Who Akebono weighs about 450 fucking pounds.
So that's your least favorite guy.
I don't like there's nothing about him I like. And he's 12 and 18 for fuck's sake.
Right.
He's had 30 professional fights, and he's gone on record. He talked to Ariel Helwani just like, hey, this is what I do. I'm not going to wear no head injuries, but I'm still going to go out there and fight and get paid.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's great, but I don't think anyone's going to be paying to see any Bob Sapp fights.
No.
You know, you're not going to get paid to be a headliner. You're probably going to get
up the Madison Square Garden because of that Bob Sapp fight that's coming up.
Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, you're going to get advance tickets for that one. You know he's going to make the fight. But yeah, I mean, just as far as not having any aspect about a fighter's character that I enjoy, Bob Sapp is that to a T.
Yeah.
He's just in it for the cash, which, I mean, I respect that he acknowledges that, but I don't like it.
Okay.
What about you?
Conor McGregor.
I'll shut your fucking mouth. That's been the Mead Metal MMA podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
No. Let me go ahead and actually. I was going to go. I thought about it for a couple of days after Ramon brought it up. I thought about it. I thought, anybody out of Nova União fight camp out of Brazil, because I'm well known and well documented for my dislike of a lot of Brazilian camps. That was the one. It is interesting because my favorite fighter right now is a Brazilian, and that's Edson Barboza, who does not fight out of that camp, by the way, because he has common sense. But those that fight out of that camp, Jose Aldo, Renan Barão, a lot of your terrible fighters out of Brazil.
Sure.
And a couple of successful ones as well. But I decided, no, you know what? This is the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast.
That's right. Recognize.
My least favorite fighter is Ben Askren.
Oh, wow. This is a personal thing.
No. It comes down to this: if you're wanting to be the best of the best, among the best, maybe it might behoove you to go ahead and accept the fact that you're going to have to deal with some assholes occasionally. It's interesting to me that Ben Askren's approach was to fight in Bellator, win the championship there, decide that, well, they're not paying you enough, go ahead and go to Rise and still not get enough money, but that's okay. And you're going to retire, and that's okay. And you're not going to talk like you've got a weird lisp later in life. That's okay. I can appreciate that. But you have to know that you've been measured against the best in some minor promotions. You've never been measured against the best in the premium, the most premier promotion that's out there.
I'll agree if we're talking about the UFC about 5 years ago, then absolutely. If a fighter like Ben Askren,
his active career has been like the last 10 years. So
yeah, he's fought from February 2009 to November of this year, so a little under 10 years.
8 years, yeah.
If he were to go, just say he were to sign with the UFC now, he'd flounder. They would misuse him because this guy is a fighter. He's not a promoter for his own shit. And that's what the UFC wants now. They want entertainment. They don't want the right fights. Ben Askren will come in and he'll drown, just like Will Brooks did, and it continues to do. I mean, gosh, there's people that come from other organizations. I mean, Eddie Alvarez is a small, yeah, he did okay. He won a belt. And that's kind of the big thing.
Promptly lost it, but yeah.
Promptly lost it to one of the greatest fighters of all time for the next 2 weeks.
Gold star for you, sir.
But I mean, he comes, and he's a welterweight fighter.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Ben Askren fighting in the UFC welterweight division right now because it sucks. Hopefully, we get a winner out of tomorrow night's main event, and they go down there and take that belt from Tyron Woodley and call it good.
Yeah.
And start getting a little prestige back at 170.
Maybe. Yeah, that used to be the most stacked division. I'd say now 155, 145 are really, really tight. But that's the whole thing. It's nothing personal against Ben Askren, or maybe it is. Because the fact of the matter is, he made it a very personal argument between him and Dana White.
And I'm sure Dana White had a lot to do with that as well.
Absolutely. No, he had everything to do with it. But the fact of the matter is, leave that alone. That's the guy that's working for the promotion. What you do as a professional fighter, you lower your head and you just go ahead and take it as it is.
Well, you do what Gaethje did. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'd love to see Ben Askren come in and be tested at the welterweight division in the UFC.
Sure.
But it would have a lot more weight to it if he had done it years ago. I mean, now it's just like it'll never happen.
Well, that's the whole thing, and that's it. And he's retired now from Ryzen, and people now are saying, "Hey, well,
no, not right. One FC
or One FC, yeah, not Ryzen, but I mean, so people say, hey, so you've retired now. Now can you come to the UFC? And he doesn't want to. But it goes back to this weird rivalry with Dana White.
Yeah,
you should never have a rivalry with a promoter. Look,
you're fucking yourself out of a job.
That's what it is. Have a rivalry with other fighters, but you don't want to have one with Dana White. Yeah. You don't want to have one with...
Go on Twitter and call Tyron Woodley a cunt and start getting something going.
But they can't because the fact of the matter is they're training partners, so that's the other thing that really kind of stands in the way.
So I agree. I agree with that. I mean, I
know
still,
it's kind of a tough pill to swallow.
I think you might be giving the UFC a little too much credit being the premier because at 170 they're not. Bellator is beefier at 170 than UFC is.
Well, that's because they got fighters from UFC 170 to go over there. I mean, Gegard Mousasi, they should have given that guy.
Well, Gegard's a 185.
Or 185. But then they end up having Rory McDonald. They should have done everything they could do to keep that guy. They should have done everything they could to, end up keeping.
That's WME's fault.
It is because that's it. The promotion's been bought out that's expecting a clown circus.
Yep, and they're trying to make it just that. Thankfully, we've gotten some really good cards to close out 2017, though.
Well, that's the whole thing. 217, I think, was the best card I've ever seen. And 218 was entertaining. But
it was good. I mean, the Overeem knockout was
that
ridiculous.
That one alone stands out as probably the biggest knockout of 2017.
Oh, my God, yeah.
But UFC 217 was a great card. Now, this is all, WMG and everybody, you know, the whole. But the thing is, they need to make money. They need to make money right now. And Rogan pointed out on one of his podcasts about this, and that's the danger, is that you're getting fights that probably shouldn't normally happen under ordinary circumstances.
Right.
But the fact is, they sank $4 billion into the Fertittas, and they're sitting around expecting an immediate return. They don't have Ronda Rousey. They don't have Conor McGregor. Those are the two biggest names in the UFC. In the last couple
they're your
years.
draws. They're your draws.
And they're both.
I mean,
done.
Rousey doesn't have drawing power anymore.
Not now, but I mean,
Yeah.
But when they bought
When
it
they were
out,
going, they were both going strong. UFC 2 just came out. Everything was gravy.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of Conor McGregor, greatest fighter of all time for the next 2 weeks, money fight, 4.3 mil, did not break the record. Pacquiao and Mayweather did 4.6. Mayweather and McGregor did 4.3 million buys.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Still pretty good.
Well, now it's the whole thing. You know, we can also talk about that boxers are wanting to get in on the game because McGregor is a money train. It doesn't matter win or lose. It doesn't matter.
Well, Mayweather's talking that UFC has offered him some cash.
Well, if he wants to come in and fight a UFC event at MMA rules,
That'd be brutal.
well, he can go fuck himself because he will be done.
If he accepts it, be like, man, you got balls. I'll admit that. You got big brass black balls, my friend, but you're going to...
The money would not be right. He did it for like $100 million fucking deal against McGregor.
Mayweather apparently said on a live stream that a Mayweather-McGregor MMA fight, they're offering $1 billion, which is bullshit.
No.
Right?
God,
That's not some Dr. Evil shit. $1 billion dollars.
Let's get the pinky to the mouth the right way. But
$1 billion.
Oh.
Well, I mean, fuck, I'd pay $80 to watch that pay-per-view if that's what it costs.
an MMA fight?
You goddamn
McGregor?
right.
Yeah.
I'll
fuck
pay
yeah.
to watch a snuff film anytime.
Yeah, I will. Because it's stupid. Because that's the whole thing.
And then watch fucking Mayweather just land the
It'd
perfect
be over in
fucking...
like 30 seconds.
Well, you know Connor's not going to take him down unless he's just trying to be a dick.
Which that would be the deal.
Yeah. I mean, that's what Couture did to Tony, but Couture was a wrestler, so it's kind of in his skill set.
I don't know.
I'm sure that's horseshit, just trying to build interest in something that is probably not even there. But as we've seen, if there's a lot of interest on the internet, they will work on it.
You know what? I work it the way you want to, but the problem is De La Hoya wants to fight McGregor. Boxing.
No, Pacquiao wants to fight him.
No. De La Hoya wants to fight.
Wants to fight him too?
Yeah. That Paul Magliani or whatever the hell his name
the
is that
sparring
came
partner?
out. Yeah. He wants to fight. Everybody wants to fight Conor McGregor as a boxer. None of them want to fight him as a true combat warrior, which is an MMA event. Which is even still, I would say, to this, it's a very, very
It's a rocky boat.
well, it's not. MMA is it's fine. You have to make some adjustments here and there.
Make some huge adjustments.
You can't go and just I'm talking about just if you're talking about a pure warrior. A pure warrior would just fucking kill somebody.
Oh yeah, it's another day of the office.
It's not the day of UFC 1.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
You can't repeatedly punch somebody in the balls and call it a day.
That's a damn shame too.
But I will say this though, under the rules that they have that are established, you can't do small joint manipulation.
Right.
You
Shit,
can't
that'd make
punch
me
somebody in
tap
the
out.
dick. But other than that, there are only a few things that are really on the books.
Yeah.
You know. Any boxer that wants to step into an octagon,
Look how it worked out for James Toney. Didn't work out well.
I don't want to go with that because the fact that one's the only one reference that we have.
That's what we got.
But the fact of the matter is, I don't care who Floyd Mayweather thinks he is. I don't think that guy would stand a chance against Max Holloway. I don't think he'd stand a chance against El Kakui. I don't think he'd stand against a guy I really, really don't like.
I would even give CM Punk a fucking decent shot against taking Mayweather down and beating the shit out of him. I mean, Mayweather wears one leg kick. Just one.
Sure.
Those legs are gone.
He's never had to wear that before.
Yeah, they're gone. And he's up there in age, so a first leg kick, he's going down and staying down.
What does he do on a double leg shoot takedown? What does he do on a single leg whip? You know, I mean, shit that you can't pull off on normal MMA fighters.
Crossover's tough to pull off, man. Bobby Lashley did it okay. Went from pro wrestling to Bellator. But still, he's kind of a poor example because he looks gassed to the gills. He's one of the biggest fucking people I've ever seen.
Well, you had, Bobby Riggs and Billie Jean King, male tennis against female tennis, but,
That's tennis.
I'm joking because the fact of the matter is there's no way that Floyd Mayweather actually is able to withstand anything that happens inside an octagon.
No, flash knockout, and Mayweather doesn't knock people out with boxing gloves. I doubt he'll do with MMA gloves.
Oh, well.
Well, hey, at least we got which is actually a pretty decent card tomorrow. It is a Fox card, UFC on Fox 26.
And then I'll not see it then.
Main card kicking off right around the time you'll be stuffing Chardonnay and proper cheese down your gullet, which probably means prelims are going to kick off right around 4 with early prelims, probably about 2:30.
Okay.
That's usually how the Fox cards work out. Looking at it, the Tim Elliott fight got pulled because his dance partner didn't even attempt to weigh in. And they only paid Tim Elliott the show money. Is that what they do? When your opponent fucks up, don't they usually give you show and win money for that? Didn't they do that for Ian McCall in his last fight before he fucked off and signed to Ryzen or won?
I don't know how that works out where they
Well, he got his show money.
Okay.
But he's bitching about it pretty hard.
Well, I would be if that's it. I mean,
he's probably out a lot of cash because it is a network TV card.
Well, and the camp is going to run you $50,000, so 40,000, 50,000. I mean, it depends on the priority of your camp. But
this fight, I have a feeling, could be a show stealer. Lightweight John Makdessi fighting Abel Trujillo.
I think Trujillo is the favorite. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know the odds for tomorrow's card.
But I would take John Makdessi in that one.
I would too. I think it's going to be a decision. No, it's going to be a hell of a fight. But I think Makdessi is going to grind out a 15-minute win.
But Trujillo needs to get a win. He got kind of showed up in his last outing. So
Abel Trujillo is actually a huge favorite, -220.
Yeah. His comeback. This is his comeback fight.
Yeah.
But he's facing John Makdessi. So
yeah, and Makdessi, he can get shit done. Let's see what else we got here. Jared Cannonier, I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah, Cannonier.
And Jan Blachowicz. Blachowicz?
Yeah, no,
I would say Blachowicz.
I would say Cannonier is the guy. I think that's the way they pronounce it in this country. Cannonier, I think is it. But that's the guy that's been tried and true. So.
Yeah, and a pretty good favorite of that. Main card, 4 fights, opening up middleweight, or no, light heavyweight. Sorry, Misha Serkinov fighting Glover Teixeira.
You know what? I would like to think that Teixeira is going to be kind of still the gatekeeper, but he's getting a little long in the tooth.
Yeah, Glover's
Serkinov is probably the guy I'm going with, and probably a remarkable knockout. Unfortunately, I think.
Yeah,
I like Glover.
I think this is Glover's first fight after Alexander Gustafsson uppercutted him into just obliteration.
And before that was Rumble.
Oh God, that's back-to-back brutal loss.
This is it. This is Glover. If he gets knocked out here, the promotion's going to know that his chin.
And they're
going
to have to show him the door just for his own safety, because that dude has been wearing a lot of head injuries as of late.
I like him. I like him.
Me
a
too.
lot,
I like him.
Man, but he can't keep sustaining that. Not at 205.
Next up, we got welterweights. Santiago Ponzinibbio taking on platinum dummy Mike Perry.
Man, Mike Perry's such an idiot, but the problem is if I pick against him, he'll fucking win. Yeah. So I like Ponzinibbio. He's the only fighter I know from Argentina.
Yeah.
And the guy has got skill. He's got some great striking skills. He reminds me of Gegard Mousasi.
Yeah.
A lot. He reminds me a lot of that because of the fact that he's got some very technical striking skills and a pretty decent ground game. He's kind of an overall good fighter, but, man, I don't know. Perry is going to have to come out and, do some weird nonsense, against the cage.
Yeah.
If he can get the clinch, I don't know that Ponzinibbio can probably avoid it.
Yeah, and I think Perry is going to go like the Garbrandt route of just pressure,
Yeah.
box, box, box.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
I mean, and God, I still think they might have been separated at birth, man.
I do think that Ponzinibbio will probably be the huge favorite in Vegas, but if you're looking for the upset special, it might be this one.
Yeah, Mike Perry plus 165, Ponzinibbio minus 190.
Oh, this is a little closer than it was yesterday. Then.
Yeah.
No, it was like minus 250 for Ponzinibbio yesterday, but yeah.
As far as, if you're looking at an upset to make some money, I'd probably Mike Perry. That's your best bet, but you're not really going to be making a whole god awful.
No,
it's not a huge underdog.
It sounds like things actually kind of closed a lot. So
yeah. Co-main event: Ricardo Lamas fighting Josh Emmett. Now, Josh Emmett's a plus 235. If you're wanting to make money, you'd bet on this guy, but I don't think Ricardo Lamas lets him get out of this fight alive after 15 minutes. I think he finishes it.
I think Lamas has been really all over the board. I know he had a really good outing last time, but, man, that guy suffered some defeats.
Well, he fought Aldo. I mean, dude earned a proper title fight against Aldo at 169.
Yeah.
Lost a decision.
See, that's the whole problem. It goes back a ways. This guy, he reminds me a whole lot of some other fighters that we've seen that are still active, but their route goes back to way back in 150, 160.
Well, ever since he's bumped down to featherweight, he's lost to 3 people: Jose Aldo, Chad Mendez, and Max Holloway. Those are, and I mean, everyone but Mendez is a title holder.
Well,
and two of those three
point.
consider the GOAT. And I mean, he beat Oliveira, beat Diego Sanchez, Hackern Diaz, Cub Swanson. And that fight was 6 years ago, so you were fighting a Cub Swanson in his prime.
You're talking a lot of those are 155, but yeah.
No, these are all 145 fights.
Diego Sanchez?
Yeah.
I thought that guy was a lightweight for some reason. Oh, well, I'll take it. Well, I guess if that is the case, then
I think Lamas it's not a matter of if, but when and how.
Yeah.
And it'll be a finish. It could be a mid-second round submission.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised. And our main event, if you're looking to make any type of money, stay away from this one. RDA, Rafael Dos Anjos fighting Robbie Lawler. RDA at a minus 115, Robbie Lawler at a minus 105.
Yeah. I would have been concerned about Lawler after the Woodley fight.
Yeah. Just getting flattened like that so quick.
But he came right back and bounced right back. Lost to Cerrone, in my opinion, but the judges said otherwise. So
he went the whole Diego Sanchez route, had that really late third round just flurry of murder, and I think won them that third round, won him the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. And that's probably, I guess, what ended up winning him that particular fight.
This fight is going to end one of two ways, in my opinion. RDA is going to just destroy Robbie Lawler's legs first round until he can't really pivot and plant on them legs and throw the knockout blows Robbie Lawler's known for.
Yeah.
Or Robbie's going to catch him once, he's going to stagger, and Robbie's going to taste blood in the water and swarm and destroy him. And I think either one's going to happen within 15 minutes. I just don't see this one going the distance.
Right.
If it does, it's going to be because RDA turns it into a grind. Lawler is going to fight the whole time. I'm going Lawler. I like RDA. I liked him at 155. I like him even more at 170.
Man, he's a really undersized 170 though.
Yeah, but he's doing well. He's undefeated at welterweight.
Yeah, but he is a guy that actually, and he's like kind of small for lightweight, so he's going to move up to welterweight.
It really benefited him at 155 because he was small, but goddamn, he was powerful.
Yeah,
and fast,
yeah.
So fast.
Well, until he lost.
170, he's got a little more power, but a little less.
Eddie Alvarez really showed a weakness on him, and that's if you move right in, start throwing elbows and hands, then
that was a good fucking time to be a fan of 155, man.
Yeah, no, it
still is. It still is. I mean, title be damned. Titles are becoming less and less important.
Yeah,
in
yeah, that's right.
UFC.
That's right.
I don't want to say MMA because I'm sure they're important in other promotions, but not here.
I do want to say the Diego Sanchez is basically he's a welterweight. He fought Ricardo Lamas at 155, by the way.
That fight was 155?
Yeah.
Well, Wikipedia is feeding me a line of shice.
Yeah. No, Diego's like a welterweight, man. I mean, he fought Ross Pearson at 155. That's, And, he had the loss to Lamas. On the Ultimate Fighter Latin America 2 finale.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Matt Brown's a noted welterweight.
No, he was a featherweight in 2015.
Quinta's a noted welterweight. I mean, all these guys are welterweights.
No, he was a featherweight in 2015, and that's when that fight happened.
Diego?
Yeah.
Well, fucking really 145, and he's normally should
Said
be
he
about
fought at featherweight in 2015, fought at lightweight 2009, and is currently a lightweight.
Well, okay, let me go ahead and revisit something from earlier. My least favorite fighter. My least favorite fighter.
Who is it, man? Tell the truth.
It is Diego Sanchez.
Oh, shit.
He probably ruined any chance for the UFC ever coming back to Albuquerque again because of the stupid thing.
It's fine. From what I've learned, we don't deserve it.
Ross Pearson kicked his ass for 3 solid rounds. There was a chance that Ross almost submitted him.
No, that was main event, 5 rounds.
5 rounds. Ross almost submitted him. Yeah, that's right, because it was almost the 4th round.
Oh, no, I take it back. No, that was 3 rounds. My bad. The main event was Henderson and Kovalov.
I don't know. It was late. And Ross Pearson almost had a submission. Couldn't pull it off. And then as it comes out, hey, guess what? Ross has beat the shit out of him for 3 rounds, but Diego beat him 50-47 across the board.
Yeah.
That's why we'll never have a UFC fight in Albuquerque ever again.
Breakdown was one judge saw it for Ross Pearson 30-27. The other 2 judges saw it 30-27 and 29-28 for Diego.
Ridiculous.
30-27 for Diego.
Ridiculous. That dude was gasping for air in the 3rd round, and Ross almost had him put away. But hey, that's his round.
Oh man, yeah.
You can't do it. And the facilities in Albuquerque are terrible.
Unless you're. Oh yeah.
They did it at Tingley, which is fucking older than I am. So, build a new facility or go ahead and assume that because of the fact that you have 2 gyms in this state that are worth a shit, that that you can't necessarily host a hometown event.
Right. And, like I said, the Albuquerque fans, when Albuquerque fighters are fighting, I don't know if they deserve an MMA event of that caliber anymore.
I think you're right. Nobody was a Holly Holm fan until the day after she beat Ronda Rousey.
That's right. And that's when it's Holly Holm Day, getting your parades and all that other bullshit.
Native American parade? Fuck you.
No way.
Holly Holm Day.
What's that even about?
That's terrible.
We got to make a day for this blonde broad, okay?
I'm serious. That's what happened.
Yeah.
It's what happened.
She was on fucking Good Morning America.
Yeah. Now, your Native American Day parade. Nope. Guess
and it's
what?
like, oh, yeah, I'm fighting Misha Tate next. And then what happened? Good Night Town late in the 5th.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the best women's bantamweight fights I've ever seen.
My favorite woman fighter ended up getting the win there.
My favorite lady fighter.
Oh, she does look like a lady.
Whoa. Well, my friends, we have hit the end of another one.
We've eclipsed our use.
That's right. We are no longer of any use to anyone. And we are over the hour mark, so I think we should hit some picks.
Oh, holy crap. All right. Fast.
Drinking. I wonder quietly to myself.
I'm going to go drinking. I'm going to go Bullet Rye because that is the best rye on the market. Yeah. Don't buy Jack Daniels. Spend the extra $10. You will appreciate what you've done.
Yeah, agreed. I'm going Bullet Rye and Budweiser. They do pair together quite well, I have to admit.
Oddly.
Yeah, oddly well. Something a little cheap with something a little pricey. Makes you feel right. Metal.
Oh, Lord almighty, metal. I'm going to go a little unseen on this one. Oh, Paraman 2000, first record they had out.
Oh, Mega Kung Fu Radio.
That's right.
Or Mega Kung Fu Radio, as they say.
Well, if you pronounce it the way it's supposed to be, yeah.
I'm going to go with the Hawaiian Doom Metal from Italy that I was talking about earlier, band by the name of Cambrian. The album's called Mobular. Check it out. I mean, like I said, you might love it or you might hate it, but I like it. I like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
MMA.
MMA. I'm gonna pick Misha Tate for interviews. Misha Tate for interviews.
Oh, like one of those like bedside chats.
Or if you want to get on UFC Fight Pass and watch her choke out Holly Holm, put her to sleep.
Oh, watch her fighting the Invisible Man. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Like I said, probably the best women's bantamweight fight I've ever seen.
Not a bad one. Not a bad one.
I'm gonna go. Shit.
Colby Covington.
I'm going Colby Covington as long as he's not fighting in Brazil. Does that dude realize that people in Brazil have been fucking murdered for less?
Well, and he pissed off every one of his fellow fighters. This guy's in a weird point.
He's in an Al Iaquinta type of situation.
He'll be in Ryzen
Only he
somewhere.
fucking pissed off an entire nation, not just fighters. I mean, in Brazil, if you steal something, they'll shoot your fucking hand off with a shotgun.
Yeah.
And apparently also throw boomerangs at your fucking head if you're in goddamn Australia. Colby should not be picking a fight with this guy. Man.
He'll be fighting in Ryzen. He'll be
fighting for dinner in the alleyways of Rio, man.
Ugh.
I think that they need to do a reality show of Colby just left on the streets of Rio for 48 hours.
That guy grabbed a hold of my idea and took it 50 miles further.
Yeah, he's like, oh, well, I have the platform where I can really hate Brazilians. I'm taking it out there. Now, see, aren't you happy you didn't have that type of platform?
Whatever.
You might have worn a boomerang right in the dome, sir.
I will tell everybody that Barboza is still my favorite fighter. So.
That's right. He's fighting coming up next week, right?
No, he's on the last card of the year, right?
Yeah, next week. Or not next week, 2 weeks from tomorrow.
2/19.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Birth weekend.
A good fight.
And yeah, that's a buy. That's got to be a buy. Got to close out the year proper.
All right, well, prepare yourselves for a whole lot of Merry Christmas shit coming up next week because it'll be our
Do we have to do a holiday episode? Just because it's Christmas don't mean we have to do a Christmas episode.
Is that actually do we still have 2 more left this year?
Yeah. We got the 22nd and the 29th.
Lord Almighty. All right, well, you know what? If you're relying on us to get you your Christmas nut, then it's not us. So,
I'll be more than willing to put some mistletoe in strategically placed areas.
We'll be back with you twice before this year's out. So
that's right. No, 29th, big birthday show.
That will be the birthday show.
Birthday 219.
Yeah. Next week will be the dripping with red and green and gold party. So
that sounds like a shitty STD.
No, I'll be drunk. It's
me too. Well, so it's going to be like this week. Nice. Looking forward to it.
All right, you heathens. We appreciate.
It's been a good one.
By the way, we do appreciate you weighing in with everything. Even those of you that hate us, fucking, that's good.
Yeah, bring that hate. It's fuel. It's all fucking fuel.
It works.
I mean, just like the Yari episodes, the hatred made me want to do more.
If we're doing a good job, we're doing a bad job, I don't give a shit. Let us know, though. Let us know, because we will probably address it. Maybe.
We might. I don't know.
Maybe.
If we like it.
If we think you're a cocksucker, maybe not.
That's right. Well, until next Friday, my friends.
That's right. Go fuck yourself. Oh, no, that's not us. That's not us.
Go, in the words of Al Swearingen, go fuck yourself.